this school is very different, and I love it because the teachers actually do care about you, and that's something that girls who come into the school don't understand right off the bat, because we put up a guard and we're so defensive of ourselves because we're used to people saying, well, you're dumb, you're nobody, your parents are either like poor, you're poor, you're not smart enough, you're not going to go to college. And that's something that I grew up being told. Because I was poor, I'm not going to go to college. And being poor doesn't mean anything. Education does. And that's why the teachers at the school push the girls as hard as they can, because they need to understand that education is key to everything, and it opens so many doors.
In public schools, they give you a project, they just give you a topic, and you have to do it, even if you absolutely hate what you're doing. But in this school, you get to choose what you're doing, what you're learning.
Learning doesn't have to be just like something you have to do, something that's graded, regulated, or even some kids see it as punishment. It's not something like that. Learning can be exciting, and it's something that's really fun if you actually learn what you want to know.
I started interning at Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center in the pathology department. I'm always looking forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's like I have my scrubs on, I'm coming on the bus with my daughter, and I feel awesome, like professional, and like my work attire and like my badge and all that. I'm walking into the hospital.
Every day was something different, so that's probably my favorite part, that I never go in like knowing what I'm gonna do. There's always like a new task.
I worked with a mentor who was in the social media department, so pretty much I was just updating Facebook statuses, Twitter statuses, blogging on Tumblr. I made Pinterest accounts for Epitaph Records.
Once you have internships and you learn through these like experiences, that then you actually think about your future, and you're like, oh, this is what I want to do, and this is who I want to be.
Well, an exhibition kind of sounds like what it is. It's like a big moment of like you're up there and you're about to present something big that you've been working on for a long time.
We are not a traditional school, so it's really hard. I don't know, I'm not a teacher or anything, but I'm assuming that it's hard to see if the students gotten any experience or any learning out of the freedom that we're given. So why I think it's important about the exhibitions is that the teachers are able to see that we've actually learned something.
In their exhibitions at the end of the semester, when they get to share parts of that writing in front of a group rather than taking a multiple choice quiz, you really get to see not only what they've learned content-wise, but what they've learned about themselves.
Anybody who's going through any sort of difficulty, anybody who's different, from the typical norm, we're all just setting out to prove people wrong, to prove ourselves wrong, that we're not a failure, that we could be someone powerful in society.
Many students within the inner city have this very narrow worldview. And when that worldview opens up, they realize that, wow, there's much more than my block or the neighborhood store that everyone's hanging out in the corner.
At New Village, we have students from all walks of life. Most of them, if not all of them, come from poverty. And a lot of times they're told by their families, their friends, and society, people they work for or encounter, that they're not going to make it in this world. This hopelessness that's floating above them, we're breaking through.
I know these students can achieve. I know if we surround them by the right individuals, if we set the bar high, if we teach them how to achieve, if we place them in real world situations and experiences, our students will surprise you.
The big picture model emphasizes building skills and building abilities and deepening personal interest and knowledge.
Okay, so if we wanted to draw this atom out, what we would do, I'm going to make my protons little solid dots.
My role here is less sort of lecturer and more guide. My job is to present them with opportunities to learn through our labs and through our demonstrations and things, and then to encourage them to push deeper.